So those around looking around my table would wonder what on earth has happened. By the way, because of my dog, this is the third time I'm doing this video. She's a very loud dog and she does it on purpose when I'm recording these videos. I know over the years. She's cute, but nonetheless, here she comes. Yeah, she lays down until I start recording and then starts pitty-patting around. I had to remove a bowl because she's making so much damn noise. We've got a new metal bowl and she's like, oh, new weapon. Anyway, mini rant over. I love my dog. I really do, but she can be hard work. She's getting old now. Right, so why is this pile of mess on my table? Right, this is a King Blackfoot that was under the Blackfoot shell. It was my 4 Blackfoot. I've had several Blackfoots of varying levels over the years. I've had a complete original 1980s original, and I let that go. Ooh, regretted that ever since. Got another one. It was a pile of crap. It was absolutely knackered. I didn't realise this, and I cut it up to make no, I didn't cut it up. Right, let me get my story straight here. I bought a hold-all full of Tamiya bits, and in this hold-all of Tamiya stuff was many broken Blackfoot parts. Now, I cut this up to make this extended chassis because it was the front end was broken on this one and the back end was broken on another, and I thought, oh, what can I do with these? So I extended the chassis a little bit to fit the King Blackfoot under the clod shell, which is ever so slightly longer than a Blackfoot, if you can see there. And for years I had this chassis slightly extended with that main frame under that, and had a lot of fun with it, to be quite honest. The extra length makes it much more usable. Sorry, that just tickled my dirty mind. That's what she said. Yes, with the chassis being longer, it's much more stable, much more usable. That's what I meant to say. Pardon my innuendo. So that's how I had it for a long time. Then I realised I really wanted an original looking Blackfoot, so I bought a brand new shell, did some graphics of my own, kit bashed other sticker sheets. I managed to keep the old Blackfoot door part, so that's original. And then I had a 4 Blackfoot. Now, all this time, ever since the very first one of these, I've always thought, I wish there were 4-wheel drive. There must be some way of making this ORV chassis a 4x4. And I've wrestled with it. I've attempted over the years. Messed up a couple of chassis. And then abandoned the idea going, it can't be done. It can't be done. It can be done. I've done it. Which is what this is. I bought recently, and I'm also a bit sore about this. I bought this, which is a full King Blackfoot rear end. And if I'd have looked a bit further, I missed on an entire chassis for the same price. The whole thing, front to back. So yes, that's another rant for another time. So what have I done with this? Right, this I've been made with slightly modified parts. The original Tamiya Blackfoot behave much better than Tamiya did by making the front suspension plush, the rear suspension plush, and it driving beautifully. I thought, I could just make that 4-wheel drive and behave, have the manners like that. The original tyres would be fine. Yeah, another modification. 2.2 Tamiya Blackfoot tyres on 2.8 Traxxas rims. As you can see, my penchant is for not leaving anything the hell alone. Right, so we'll move these original parts to one side for now. What have I done? Can you see that? No, bear with me. Bear with me while I get a light. You can see in there, if you look at the original Blackfoot chassis, you'll see there's a metal collet inside there that the screws go through to hold all the front end rigid. I thought there's space for a diff in there. There is. If I can find a small enough... Oh yeah, there's the metal pieces there. Look. If I can find a small enough diff, I can get one in there and make it 4-wheel drive. Well, I have done it. It is there. Hiding, you'll see. Can I get the torch in the right place? There we go. There's a diff case, diff housing in there. Now, this is, I'll show you this in a minute. These A-arms and links are from this. It's a toy grade that was slash sized, but they used replica Tamiya arms. They mimicked the arms. Now I was going to make something out of this. It's 4-wheel drive, but that's another project for another time. Right, so what did I do? I used the front arms from that, the front uprights, and whatever these housings are called, from a TLO1B. If I could get TLO1B arms, I would have used those. I've even managed to attach the original Blackfoot steering to this. That amazed me. Right, now I've ordered a new red chassis. Thing is, the cheaper they are, the longer they take to come. So it could be a few weeks before it arrives. So I'm sort of stuck in limbo, which is why I'm doing this video now. But yeah, where am I? Where have I got to? Yes, so this is now, as you can see, there's a drive shaft sticking out there. Now, this is a sacrificial experimental piece. I now know what to do with the brand new one to make it fit inside there. Now, I was a bit sad that I had to cut this section up, which is the rest of the piece that goes in there, just simply because you couldn't get the drive shafts to work with this. There just isn't enough space here, so I had to use the whole diff, which if you chop away, I'll show you. Actually, it's easier to show you what have I done with this. We need the torch back, don't we? All this lighting, it's so dim. Right, as you can see, there's little, I need a pointer. I can't do it. This part here, right, I think I've got it. The lighting in this kitchen is abysmal in the afternoons. Right, I have removed all this piece here, which you still can't see. Oh, you'll have to take my word for it. I've pointed at it, now you know where I'm pointing. I've removed all of it that holds the links together, and kept the link for the A-arms, but used the replica A-arms, because I couldn't find any Tamiya ones to fit. Now, I've done the same with the back diff, but that was a much more involved. I'll come to that in a moment. I'm trying to get this section in here, but this is a tight fit, man. This is extremely tight. Right, so you're up to date on the front. This is ready to go. All I have to do is cut a little notch for the drive cups and find some appropriately sized dog bones, and that is good to go. And if I can find some CVAs or CVD, I don't remember what they're called, the drive shafts to go in there, I will use that instead. Right, so as you can see now, there's a diff cup coming out there. So we're running a drive shaft through the centre of the chassis to the back, which is now, see, can you see it? Can you see it? No, you can't, because I've done such a damn good job. Right, I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, you can see the bit of light there. That is the diff. Now, I had to trim and trim and trim and trim to get that diff, which is exactly the same as that one on the back. Zoom in. That one on the back there. As you can see, I had to trim as much of this on the sides away as I could. It's barely able to fit in there, but fit it I did. So it's just two screws holding the two housings together now, which is that one there, as you can see there. As you can see, the bearing is exposed. There's only that little bit of plastic holding it in, so I'm hoping that'll be alright. And the same on the, there, you can just see it on the other side there, and the side of the drive cup. I'm actually using the original Tamiya drive shafts here, so we're golden. As you can see, it's working. Now, the other drive cup is roughly here, and it will come out here somewhere. But until I can get a gearbox in the chassis, I don't know where I use another dog bone, it can come out here or down here, it can come out, I can bring it out anywhere I want. There's no point drilling a damned hole until I know where it's coming out. So at this point, once I get the new chassis, I'll chop the front to take the diff for that. I will then trim this down so that it fits, and it does fit underneath this, so that will hide this assembly here. I'll fit the bumper on, so that's the front. And I was surprised, really surprised, how the original Tamiya steering mount fits on above that diff. It's like that diff was designed to fit there. Right, now I've got to take this apart again when I mount the drive shaft in the front to come out. So I'll show you what I've done. You'll see why it is the way it is. I don't know whether to mount a fake motor on here so that you really can't tell where that is, but you're going to see the motor, because leaving this extended one, there's not a lot of space in here. So I may have to find like a 1/18 or a 1/24 gearbox from something. I don't plan on running a lot of power through this, so the centre diff is going to be, yeah. So what will I be doing with this one? I'm going to be extending it to fit under the clodbuster. Now I may convert this one to 4-wheel drive later on, if I'm feeling like I want to trash 2 cars, because I'll know what to do by then, so I can use this chassis to do it with. So that's where we are. That's part 1 of the build. Until the chassis arrives now, there's nothing else I can do with this. I'll be publishing all this build videos, all this build series together. I'll be honest, I don't want anybody to see this till I've done it. I want to say this is a world first. I want to be the one who did this first. There is a 4-wheel drive ORV chassis in Japan. I've spent weeks and weeks and weeks researching and looking and see if anybody else did this. It's a Frog and it's belt driven. So they managed to fit the motor longitudinally in the middle and belt driven it. I want it to be shaft driven. I've committed now, so it's going to happen. I have literally just got to place the motor and gearbox, and the rest is just battery and electronics, which is always, for me, the most difficult part of a build anyway, getting it to look nice. And even a kit, like the CC01, even the CC01, you struggle to get the motor, the wires looking neat. It's almost like even the manufacturers treat the electronics as an afterthought. Right, so there we go. That's part 1. Next time you see this, I will be assembling the chassis, and that's when the gearbox pondering begins, because I may have to purchase a gearbox, and I don't have any money at the moment. I spent it all on this new gearbox, which is here. So there we go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. More soon.